Hey, beautiful Taurus. Welcome to your tarot and oracle card reading for the rest of 2025. This reading is for Taurus, sun, moon, and rising. And while I'm intending it to be for the rest of 2025, if you find it out of time, timing is divine and so are you. So there's probably a message in here for you. So this reading is timeless. All right. So beautiful Taurus, we're going to look at what's coming for you the rest of 2025, and what blessings that you have, what challenges you might face, and advice that Spirit has for you. Okay. We're going to start with the Star Tarot, and then I'll get clarifiers from some other decks, and all of the decks I use will be in the description. All right. God, Spirit, Universe, please bring truth, clarity, and understanding to this reading for the beautiful Taurus family, and help Taurus find their highest and most blessed timeline. Thank you. All right, Taurus. So what's coming in for you? You have King of Swords, Six of Pentacles, and Two of Pentacles. So King of Swords is a lot of you are stepping up in authority, becoming the boss in some way, becoming a mind leader in some way too. For a lot of you, like a content creator or a teacher, a judge, or an authority figure. This could also be having a judgment. We will get clarifiers, and it really just depends on the clarifiers. There's so many meanings for the King of Swords, and then you have the Two of Pentacles and the Six of Pentacles. So both of these talk about balance, creation, taking on more responsibilities. So I do feel that a lot of you are like being made the boss or stepping up as your own boss too. And creating, like I said, creating content, but creating courses or some type of mind mastery or mastermind situation. With the Two of Pentacles, you're juggling, and you're now able to, you've leveled up so much that you're now able to take another ball on, right? So it's right, staying balanced in the midst of added responsibilities. And the Six of Pentacles is giving as you have received and receiving as you have given. So I feel like you've earned something. You've earned your place, I want to say. Six of Pentacles also is like being paid back. For a lot of you, you may have had a debt, or you've had a debt owed you that's now being rectified or will be rectified by the end of 2025 or whenever you see this reading. So, and again, we'll get clarifiers, but let's look at your blessings. You have the Nine of Wands, the King of Pentacles, and the Moon. The Nine of Wands is a lot of work, and the King of Pentacles is things aren't manifesting all at once, outwardly, right? So it's like this could be you, and this is in your blessing aisle, so just hear me out. Beautiful Taurus. But this is you like doing a lot of work, standing up for your work, burning the candle at both ends, really feeling excited about what you're doing, passionate about what you're doing, getting up early, staying up late to fulfill a task, some type of work, right? Whereas things aren't being born as quickly as you want them to, However, in your blessing aisle, for a lot of you, this is things coming to full fruition, things manifesting fully. And I get that. I don't always get that with the King of Pentacles, but you have the King of Swords and the King of Pentacles. And so, and you also, I just want to show you, have the imagery of two other kings in your cards. So I feel like, this is like mastery. The queens are creators and the kings are masters, like that you've become a master in some way. And the King of Pentacles is with the Moon. And here I just want to show you this too. This beautiful Nine of Wands, I told you he's burning the candle at both ends, but one end is the sun and one end is the moon, right? So it's like really, really staying up late and getting up early, but with the King of Pentacles, really creative energy and strong manifestation, the ability to manifest, the mastery of manifesting. So I will be very interested to see what comes of that. But I really feel like you, beautiful Taurus, are manifesting the life of your dreams, and with the Moon, you're tapping into a new, and this has a lot to do with that Two of Pentacles, picking up that new ball, tapping into a new source. And for a lot of you, this is getting primitive, digging into your instincts, right? Getting instinctive with things. And that's making it easier for you to do more, to make more, to go further. You're not thinking as much. You're just doing Taurus, and you're not letting yourself get in your way now. Like, you've got your groove. So take it as it resonates. And then your challenges, very interesting. You have the Ten of Pentacles, which is fulfillment. That's the end of a cycle of manifestation, but the Ten of Pentacles goes quickly to the Ace of Pentacles. So the end of a cycle and the beginning of a new one. And then you have the Devil. I do want to mention it came out upside down, but nevertheless, the Devil is an energy of entrapment. Sometimes it's lying to ourselves. Sometimes it's not seeing things clearly. The need to free yourself of something. This could be an addiction. This could be a fear. Okay. So with the Ten of Pentacles, this is like happy family, happy ending, growing, like a solid, stable structure, a solid, stable community. All the things that come with the Ten of Pentacles, which is like happy endings, right? And then the Devil in your challenge position could be the need to free yourself, to walk away from something that you've relied on for a long time, that you've leaned on for a long time, that has become part of your part of your network, right? But we will get clarifiers. That would be very challenging for you. In the Six of Cups, this is like nostalgic energy, inner child energy. So this could be a difficult moment for you, but on the other end of it, this is super freeing, you can see, right? So there is a need just to step into a better life that's waiting for you, a better life that is more resonant with your authentic self, your inner child, really. And for some of you, it could be your child, something resonant with your child. And it doesn't actually have to be a physical child. It can be your baby, whatever you're growing or raising up to, will only be blessed and benefited when you cut out the old overgrown structure and free yourself from something. And then your advice cards, the Hierophant, the Hanged One, and the Ten of Swords. And I want to point out also the Ten of Swords was inverted. So I find that real interesting. There's two difficult cards in your reading, and that's the Ten of Swords and the Devil, and they were both inverted. So it feels like lessons learned, The Hierophant and the Hanged One are lessons learned, though. The Hierophant is like a shaman or a priest that connects you with spirit, right? And so this is your connection with spirit. You don't need a shaman or a priest. This is learn that you don't need anyone to connect you with source, number one, for a lot of you. Step up into that role. Be the change that you wish to see in the world, and this is real spiritual energy too. Like go into a more spiritual life, a more spiritual timeline. The Hanged One is doing that too. He's sacrificing himself in many ways. And you have the Ten of Swords, which is the death of the ego. And he's on a cross. And the Hanged One is on a tree, which is very, very emblematic of Odin on the world tree, which is emblematic of the Christ and the energy of Christos on a cross. So this is like sacrifice your old self in order to free yourself in many ways. Sacrifice your old ideas. This is a really, really deep message, beautiful Taurus. I don't know what this is about. This is going to be about something different for each one of you. There's no question. But something tells me that you know what is imprisoning you, or what you are fearful of, or what you are, that self-imposed limitation of the devil is, that's been in your energy for a long time, the Ten of Pentacles, or it's been growing for a long time into what it's become, So there's just a need to allow that old sense of identity, the Ten of Swords, to fade into nothingness because it's an old sense of identity. It doesn't actually exist anymore. At this point, you're just clinging on to it. And I really feel that, right? The Hanged One also is very, very still. You can see that he's a pendulum in this image. And he's not in pain and he's not suffering because he's not trying to get out of his predicament. He's surrendering to the process and relaxing in an uncomfortable position. So a lot of you might find yourself in an uncomfortable position, especially with the King of Swords and the Two of Pentacles. I feel like for a lot of you, this is the need to step up in some way, right? So he's relaxing in that position and he's connecting to spirit like the Hierophant does, and his crown chakra is blossoming, blossoming like that lotus, and he's receiving insights, information, he's receiving downloads, intuitive hits, and clarity, ultimately, which helps him. With the Ten of Swords, you can see that clarity too, that those insights coming in too, helps him to surrender to the process, right? So the more you wiggle, the more uncomfortable it is, I feel, Taurus. All right, let's get clarifiers for beautiful Taurus's reading for the rest of 2025. Thank you, Spirit. So coming in for you, you have Two of Cups, Eight of Swords, Three of Cups, blessings, King of Cups, 10 of Wands, 7 of Wands. Well, so you have 3 tens. So there's definitely endings here for you. In your challenges, 7 of Pentacles, 4 of Cups, and the Tower. Wow. And then advice cards, the Hanged Man again, the Knight of Cups, Quest for your Holy Grail, and 5 of Cups. So a lot of emotion here. You have a lot of cups energy with this second deck. And I just feel like for a lot of you beautiful Tauruses, like especially with the Hanged Man as your advice card, like in your advice row twice, this is like, don't be fooled by your emotions, and stay true to what's authentically yours, to where you authentically align. Because sometimes our emotions are just reverberations of what we heard. So identify, is this my emotions? Is this how I feel or how I'm supposed to feel about something? So with that stepping up energy, the mastermind, the juggling, giving as you receive, right? You have 2 of Cups and 3 of Cups. And then the 8 of Swords. So 2 of Cups, 3 of Cups, this is alignment. This is going in the right direction. You're making progress. You're ascending, right? 2 of Cups is alignment with your higher self. And the 3 of Cups is destiny, actually. So it's time also. The 3 of Cups are usually like three goddesses with their cups lifted to the sky. And that's the Norns of destiny or the fates of destiny. It's the goddess Hecate, the triple goddess, moon goddess, who sits at a crossroad or stands at the crossroad and determines what is ahead for you. And, the fates weave your destiny, right? So it just feels like you've reached a point, where you can't go any further without changing, without that transformation of the 10 of Swords. And then the 8 of Swords, you will free yourself. You will free yourself. While the devil is challenging and can be uncomfortable, you're being told to be comfortable with the uncomfortable, with the Hanged Man, And so with the 8 of Swords, you finally free yourself and you will see yourself truly. Here you see yourself in the mirror as all bound up, like, you can't see, you can't move, you can't even think clearly, because in this image where she's got the crows all around her, they're cawing at her, and she can't hear her own thoughts, So this is you removing yourself, becoming cognizant of that energy and recognizing that energy finally, and removing yourself from the noise and realizing, oh my gosh, that wasn't even my voice in there. You know what I mean? So for a lot of you, this is like alignment with your true self that helps you on that path of ascension, that helps you on the path of stepping into the King of Swords, you know. And I also said the King of Swords could be like a judgment coming in for you, or that kind of thing, you know. And I feel like with the Two of Cups and the Three of Cups, that's definitely true. Like justice is here for you. And also, like, if you are creating content, or if you are being a mastermind or something like that, it's going to be in alignment with your authentic voice, you know. And then the blessings coming in for you, just like, you know, all that hard work, you know, burning the candle at both ends, manifesting, right? Manifesting something much more intuitive, you know, the moon, that really intuitive energy. You have the King of Cups, you know. So you have a lot of king energy here. There's a lot of maturity for you, beautiful Taurus, you know, and you have all those tens. So there's completions coming in too, right? The King of Cups is deep, deep intuition and instinct. It's your deepest self, you know. It's your deepest soul, and it's your oversoul and your higher self too, right? It's your ability to hear your own voice, right? When you step away. So the King of Cups is just saying that's happening. And then you have another 10. You have, let's see, where did I see those? Oh, yeah, look at those. The 10 of Wands is, and you have the 10 of Wands with the 9 of Wands. I talked about like all that heavy work, you know, a heavy load, but don't drop the ball. Don't let it go. Allow yourself to push through this time. And then you have the 10 of Wands with it, right? Which says that you're at the end. And this is in your blessings row. You're at the end of that journey. You just have to keep pushing. Just keep pushing. You know, don't drop the wands. The blessing comes because the end of this cycle comes. Like all your hard work is about to pay off in some way. You know, the 9 of tens the 9 and the 10 of Wands are like the end of a lot of hard work for you. With the King of Pentacles, your hard work is going to pay off. But you have the strength to keep working. You have the strength to stand your ground. You have the strength not to be distracted either with the 7 of Wands. You know, like you're clear about what it is that you want with the 7 of Wands, you know. You're staying focused. I just feel like there's a focus on the end too, you know, like feeling the feeling of the wish fulfilled. You know, how will this feel? How do I really want to feel? You know, a lot of us think we want to be in a loving relationship. Well, how would that feel? It would make me feel like I'm loved, loving, and lovable, and the universe wants me to be happy. You know, so it's like really getting to the crux of the desire of whatever it is that you're creating. And then in the challenge, you have the 7 of Pentacles, and the 4 of Cups, and the Tower. So the 7 of Pentacles and the 4 of Cups tells me that a lot of you might be challenged by wondering when something is going to pay off, when something is going to come to fruition, you know. For a lot of you, the 7 of Pentacles goes with the 10 of Pentacles. The 10 of Pentacles takes a long time for something to grow, and the 7 of Pentacles is you waiting for your garden to grow. It's literally growing underground before it manifests above ground, right? So it could be a challenge for you to see it through, to trust. I'm planting my seeds. Spirit is going to bring sunshine and rain and all that stuff, right? So it will happen. It will happen, though. That's the message, right? And then the devil, you have the devil with the Tower, right? So the devil will fall, this energy that imprisons you, this energy also of self-imposed limitation, because you are ultimately every character in the tarot, right? Including the devil. So how are you the devil? Well, you can fool yourself. You know, you can, there's none so blind as he who will not see. So when you take the mask off, or you take the blinders off with the Tower, you see things clearly, and it's really easy to let the tower crumble when you can see it clearly. Back in the day, the royals would have the royals would create towers and live in them, thinking that was going to keep them safe from whatever's going on in the world, you know. And so the tower falling is really just a message that nothing can keep you safe when you aren't, when you don't have bare feet on the ground and connected to spirit, right? So whatever falls is just a false idea of security, you know. And I feel that for the 10 of Pentacles, for a lot of you, if it's not about wanting something to grow, right, that challenge faster, you know, wondering when fruition is going to come, it's that false sense of security. It's that structure we talked about that you leaned on, right? And then you have the 4 of Cups and the 6 of Cups. The 4 of Cups is like, she's manifested one thing after another. You know, she's got 3 cups in front of her and another cup is being handed to her, right? So for a lot of you, the challenge is recognizing that this is an Ace of Cups. The universe is handing you that cup. It's an opportunity for you. You have to open your eyes to this new opportunity. And then for others of you, this is realizing that that you don't give up on your manifestations again. You know, like that, like I talked about with the Pentacles here. Like, keep going, keep manifesting. You will get it. You have the 6 of Cups here. Your inner child will be very happy, you know, but recognize that and trust it. You know, do this for your inner child. I want to say also, you know, because for a lot of you, it feels like I'm just over this. Like, I keep doing this, and it's not bringing me that feeling that I wanted. That feeling that I'm loved, loving, and lovable. The universe wants me to be happy, you know. So the need to love what you're doing again, you know. Don't do what you don't love doing. Really, I really, really feel that. Okay. And then again, in advice, you have the Hanged Man, the Knight of Cups, and the 5 of Cups. So, you know, that surrendering energy, giving up to the process. Here she is practicing, I forget what kind of yoga this is, but you know, it's the kind of yoga where you're suspended and you have to relax. You have to relax in discomfort and allow yourself to go deeper, right? So that's what I'm really feeling. Go deeper, go deeper. You know, there's more. And again, Odin hung on the world tree. I talked about that with the Hanged One, right? In order to get the secret of the runes from the Norns of destiny, the Norns of fate, right? So I feel like, you know, in your discomfort, you're going to find the secret that you're looking for. You're going to get the key to your future, or the key to your highest and most blessed timeline. Okay. Right. And then, and because here you have the runes. I mean, literally, this is a representation of Odin on the world tree. Whether this artist knew this or not, you know, whether Chris-Anne knew or not what she was doing. I just find that real interesting in that particular card. And then you have the Knight of Cups and the 5 of Cups. The Knight of Cups is go after your heart's true desire. This is like the quest for the Holy Grail, right? Go after what truly calls to you. And you have the 5 of Cups, and I want to show how similar it is to the 4 of Cups, right? So you really do you're just being asked to not go after what your heart truly doesn't desire, right? Let your heart guide you, basically. Follow your heart in this one, beautiful Taurus. And what else do we have for Taurus for the rest of 2025? Thank you, Spirit. Dance with life. Do something to change your energy. There definitely is a feeling of like stagnation with energy with the 4 and 5 of Cups as well, you know? And I mean, yes, you're getting the blessing of the Tower, like something is being knocked over, but there's a lot of cups here, my friend. And so, you know, these emotions, like honestly, when you move your body or you put yourself in another situation, then you can get clear about how you feel about things. You know, I do feel like there's like a confusion about how you feel about things. You know, leap, you go first. The universe will catch you. So that's like the Fool card, right? It's like take a leap of faith, trust, just do it. You know what this card is actually about too. There's something that you might be afraid to do, But Spirit wants you to do it. Spirit is waiting for you to do it. Spirit is waiting to bless you on the other side of that. And share your voice. Come out of the cave, persecution, and expression. Wow. So you're being told to say your words, right? And with the King of Swords, this is a very strong communicative energy. You have the ability now to get a big audience with the King of Sword, to be heard and to speak with authority. So say your words and tell your truth, however that resonates. What else do we have for beautiful Taurus? Thank you, Spirit. We have Panther Spirit, reclaim your power. And that's really, really true. With the Eight of Swords, where you're bound up and you're thinking that you're blindfolded and helpless and all this other stuff, right? And the devil, really that's just a feeling of powerlessness, a feeling of helplessness. You just have to wake up and realize that that's not the case. Brown Bear Spirit, take time out. But again, with Brown Bear Spirit, that's being shielded and protected. Like you are being protected. Spirit is with you. Spirit has your back. There is just a real strong energy of protection. So if you do take time out in any way, you will be safe. You are safe to do so. And Porcupine Spirit, time for beginner mind. So there is that new energy. With all the tens, there's a lot of completion. There's going to be a new you on the other side of that. There's going to be a need to learn, to grow. And with that Seven of Pentacles, with the Ten of Pentacles, things may not be manifesting as quickly. Well, maybe you need to step up in new ways too. Maybe you need to try something new. Maybe, the key isn't quite in place yet for a lot of you. So thank you so much for being here, beautiful Taurus. Thank you for being you. And I'll see you next time. Peace.